Hey everyone, welcome into Jar's Toy Emporium. My name is Jacob, and today, with today being New Year's, we're going to be breaking down the top 5 Funko Pops of 2023, but we have some little rules that we're going to throw in there, and we are also going to be breaking down the top 10 sodas of 2023. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So before we start breaking down the top pops of 2023, I did want to throw in those rules, and the first rule we're going to be doing is I stuck to only 4-inch size pops. The standard size of Funko Pops, I decided that would be the best way to go ahead and start this. I figured we would just do a standard size, no build-a-scenes, no rides, none of that stuff, no deluxe pops. I like the 4-inch pops for a list like this, so that is number 1 rule of what we're going to be doing today. Now the second rule we're going to be doing is actually breaking up this list into 2. I went back and forth about doing maybe a top 10 list, but what I decided to end up doing is actually doing 5 non-Freddies and then 5 Freddy Funkos, because I know a lot of the times the Freddy Funkos can kind of steal the show due to their limited piece count. Usually they are really cool looking, so I decided to give the regular standard pops some more love. We would give them their own list and then separate the Freddies into their own list to make it a little more fun and maybe a little more competitive between those top 5s. Now we get into the Funko Sodas that we're going to be breaking down here in a few minutes. I am going to be sticking with a top 10 list of those that does include the Freddy Funkos and the non-Freddy Funkos. I feel like we got some really great sodas this year, so I didn't feel as bad letting them compete against some of the Freddy Funkos. So starting off this breakdown, I figured we would go ahead and do the non-Freddy Funkos first, because I feel like that's what a lot of you guys would be interested in seeing, and the pop that came in at number 5 for me was actually the Damaged Darth Vader exclusive to Walmart. You guys saw me do a little short on this the other day when I was lucky enough to find it. I really enjoy this pop. I think it looks absolutely spectacular. There's really great things to say about this pop. If you guys watched that short the other day, you know I do wish there was a few things they could have done better, and if they would have done those things, maybe this thing would have creeped up a little bit higher in my top 10 list, such as adding those yellow Sith eyes. I think would have been a really great one. But all in all, I do think this is a really cool pop, and I definitely think it is one of the best Darth Vaders we have ever gotten from Funko. I know the Obi-Wan Kenobi show was a little lackluster, however, this pop was absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't wait to add it to my collection as soon as it got released, and this is why it came in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is another pop that you guys have seen on the channel already, but when I saw this one, I knew it was going to be in my top 5 as soon as this one came out, because I'm such a big fan of Moon Knight, and that is actually the Moon Knight unmasked version here that we got from the Marvel Collector Horror Box. I think this pop looks really cool. The detail on this pop when I cracked it out of box was amazing. I love that he's got his weapons in one hand, the other hand's kind of open, ready for any type of fight that comes his way. The glow is a little bit lackluster on this pop, which I was a little bit disappointed in. It does only have his eyes glowing, and I show you guys here on the screen a little bit what that looks like. However, I do feel like it was a little bit lackluster as far as glows go, especially with the previous Moon Knights that we have gotten in the past that glow in the dark, where their whole body lit up. They looked really cool. I wish at least on this one his suit would have lit up. Maybe a nice white glow would have looked really good on this pop. However, I think number 4 on this list is the perfect spot for it. Whether it would have had that glow or not, I think the pops that I placed ahead of it, I don't know that it would have beaten them out, but I do think this is a great pop for number 4. Now coming in at number 3 might be a little bit cheating, because I know I said I'm sticking to standard 4-inch pops, which I am with what's going to be at number 3. However, there are 4 of them, and you guys might know what I'm getting ready to show you guys, but it is actually the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 4-pack, glow-in-the-dark, exclusive to Amazon. Now this is a pop I was super excited to get, because if you guys know anything about the Ninja Turtle Funko Pops, we have gotten a 4-pack in the past, and we've also gotten a 4-pack in the past from Amazon that does glow in the dark as well. However, that pop is very expensive nowadays. Probably a pop I'll never be able to have in my collection. I won't ever say never, because you never know what happens. Sometimes things can get crazy and you end up with stuff in your collection you never dreamed of having. However, that one is very expensive and it is very cool. But when they announced this one with the Mutant Mayhem movie coming out, I was stoked to finally be able to have a 4-pack glow in the dark in my collection. Couldn't be happier with how it looks. I think the glow looks absolutely spectacular. One of the best glows I think we got all year, but I am a sucker for green glows. I think green glows might be the best. Them or blue. Blue and green usually look the best. I think the white ones do look good too. However, green might be my favorite, so that's why it's in here at number 3. And I know it's for Funko Pop, so don't hate me, but I think this one had to be included in my top 5. Coming in at number 2 is a Funko Pop that I was shocked that we actually got this year, because it's something we have been wanting for a very long time. It is in the world of Star Wars, and it actually is a clone trooper. I'm sure a lot of you guys know we were lucky enough to get the 332nd Trooper this year. I think this pop looks spectacular. It is a really great mold on a clone that we have been wanting for such a long time. I'm super happy to have a 332nd Trooper in my collection. We actually got a little bit treated this year, and we actually got a second 332nd Trooper as well. That one was released with the Ahsoka series. However, I do think this Clone Wars era one does look a lot better. I like the face mask better. I think the paint looks better. The other one is exclusive to Target. This one was exclusive to Books A Million. I really do like this Books A Million exclusive a lot better. I think it just really hits all the buttons on the nose that I wanted out of a pop like this. I love the action pose. I love just everything about it. I think it's a really, really great pop, and that is why it came in at number 2. So coming in at number 1 is actually another pop that I've already showed you guys on the channel this year, and if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know that when this pop came out, when I showed it off on the channel, I even said at that point in time it was going to take a lot for this pop to get dethroned of my number 1 spot. Lo and behold, it did not get dethroned, and that is actually the last Ronin that we have right here. I think this was the best pop that we got all year. I absolutely love every single aspect of it. I love how comic accurate it is. The only complaint I have with this entire pop is I think Funko missed a golden opportunity to give us a chase version of it, similar to the chase that we got with the Funko Soda, where the last Ronin's chase was actually that comic book looking drawing with the black and white. That is the only thing I think that is wrong with this pop, and that's not even something that's wrong with the pop itself. That's just something I'm being a little greedy about, wishing we would have got a little more. However, this is the best pop that we got all year. I will stand by that. I think it is just absolutely spectacular. Looks phenomenal, and like I said, this is my most favorite pop. It actually took me by surprise when we got the last Ronin Soda announcement. Then when we finally got the last Ronin Pop announcement, I was absolutely stoked. This one is perfect in every way. The word perfect. I'm super excited that we're also going to be getting a little more Last Ronin stuff. It looks like we're going to be getting a comic cover Last Ronin coming in 2024. Super excited about that pop. But however, for number 1 on my top 5 non-Freddy Funkos of the year, it is the Last Ronin. Alright, so moving away from the non-Freddys, we're going to be talking about our top 5 Freddy Funko Pops of the year. And I'll go ahead and tell you guys there's a few on this list I have not been able to add to my collection, but I do feel like they are still needed to be talked about, especially when we're talking about the top 5 Funko Pops of the year. And that's going to be starting off with number 5. We actually have Freddy Funko as Chewbacca. Now, I know when this pop got announced, there was a lot of people that thought it was pretty lazy, and I'll go ahead and say I do think a lot of the Freddy Funkos we got this year were a little bit lazy because most of them were just head swaps. And while some people don't really necessarily care about that, me being one of them, it doesn't really bother me a whole lot. I do understand why certain people might be a little bit upset. I do feel like Freddy might deserve a little bit more of, you know, a different pose or something like that. However, it doesn't bother me enough to the fact where I'm not going to put this one in my top 5. I love this Freddy Funko as Chewbacca. I think it is really, really cool looking. I do love that they just head swapped it, honestly. I think it actually fits this pop perfectly, but that is probably a big reason why it came in at number 5 for me. Now, coming in at number 4 on my Freddy list is actually another pop that I don't have in my collection. This is one of those ones I don't know if I'll ever have, but it is actually Wolverine as Freddy Funko, or Freddy Funko as Wolverine, but I actually went with the one of him in his classic blue and yellow suit. I think this one looks a lot better than the one of him in his yellow and brown suit. However, I would be thrilled to have either one of them in my collection because I think they both look spectacular. However, I do prefer the classic suit a little bit more. I think this one looks really, really cool. I gotta say, I think all the Fun Days pops that we got this year, the Freddys were a big surprise. I didn't expect as big of a variety, and I also didn't expect as cool characters as we got. You know, we've already talked about Chewbacca, and now we're talking about Wolverine. Those are some huge characters in their own universes, and I'm super excited for those. I think they look really great, and that is why Wolverine came in at number 4. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. When am I going to get to a Freddy Funko that I actually do own? And that is where number 3 comes in so handy, because we're going to be talking about Freddy Funko as Casey Jones. Now, I think this pop was super, super cool. It looks really great, and when this one got announced for New York Comic Con, the heavy metal thing that they did, I was stoked. This was my most anticipated pop of New York Comic Con for sure, and this one actually holds a little bit more of a special place in my heart because this one was actually given to me by a good friend of mine, Mr. Jonah, or Jonathan. He's been a big supporter of the channel ever since it launched, and he was so gracious enough to actually send this one to me as a gift. I love this pop. I will always have this one in my collection, which I'll probably say anything that's on this list today, it'll probably be in my collection forever. However, even if things got really tough, this Freddy Funko as Casey Jones is one that I will never let leave my collection. I think it looks amazing. I love the Ninja Turtles. I was super happy to finally get a Freddy Funko from the Ninja Turtle world in a standard 4-inch pop because a lot of you guys know those are kind of expensive nowadays to get. They're super limited. I think they might be limited to like 24 pieces or something like that. So again, something I might not ever be able to own, even if I had unlimited amount of money. Just finding there's only 24 of them out there, so the people that have them probably don't ever want them to leave their collection either. However, this one is perfect for me, and I absolutely love it, and that's why it came in at number 3. Alright, coming in at number 2 is another Funko Pop that I have not been fortunate enough to get, and unfortunately, this one might be one of those ones that I never have in my collection, because this one was extremely rare when it released. It is still very rare, and it is very expensive, and we're talking about the holographic Anakin Skywalker. Now, this pop, I think, looks spectacular. I think the glow is awesome. I love everything about this pop, and you might be like, I'm surprised this isn't your number 1. It's super limited. It's really cool. It's got a great glow. It's Anakin Skywalker. I mean, he is the story of Star Wars, basically, and I agree with all those things, but I do think the one that I picked at number 1 is actually one that, even if they were both the same piece count, they cost the same amount of money in a perfect world where I could have one or the other. They're the exact same. The one that I'm going to show you guys at number 1 just barely beats it out. However, this one is definitely my number 2 of the year. There's no doubt about it. I even love the regular Anakin Skywalker, and I almost put both of them in this list, but I felt like that was kind of cheating. So I went ahead and just picked one. I do love the holographic one just a little bit better. I love the holographic Star Wars pops in general. The glows look amazing. That's why it came in at number 2. So we finally have gotten down to our number 1 Funko Pop of the year. And this is one of those pops that when it got announced, when I first saw it for the first time, usually people say, hey, don't give in to FOMO. Wait till the prices drop a little bit. I couldn't do that. I did not wait, and maybe I should have waited. I might have saved myself 30 or 40 bucks because it really never dropped a whole lot, which is really cool to see that Funko still kind of holds that value, because I know a lot of collectors this year have kind of been getting out of the game because they're worried about the direction Funko's going in. I think it's going in a great direction. I would not be worried about it if you are a Funko collector. However, this pop, number 1 for me by far. I think it's the coolest Freddy. It might be even my favorite Star Wars Freddy we've ever gotten, and we've gotten some really good ones. I know I'm putting it up there with like the Boba Fett's and the 501st Troopers. Obviously, those are very, very special. However, this one is very, very special to me, and that is actually Freddy Funko as a Stormtrooper. Now, I think this pop looks really, really great. I think this is the perfect Star Wars Freddy Funko Pop because clone troopers, there's so many clone troopers out there. Who's to say Freddy isn't one of them, right? I think it's such a great pop. The design looks really good. I love the white crown. The white crown was something I absolutely loved when I first saw it out of box. This is definitely my number 1 Freddy of the year. Limited to only 2,000 pieces, which is pretty cool that it's such a limited piece. And I'm very, very happy to have it in my collection. So that is my top 5 Freddy Funkos, ending with the Stormtrooper Freddy. Alright guys, now that we have talked about the top 5 Freddys and we talked about the top 5 non-Freddys, I figured now would be a great time to get into our top 10 sodas. And we're going to kick it off with none other than Hopper from Stranger Things. Now you guys saw me open up 3 of these on the channel. Unfortunately, I was not able to pick up the chase on this one. It is one I plan on picking up here in the future. I think it's a really great chase. Even though it is a slight mold change, it is a mold change nonetheless. I love Hopper. He's one of my favorite characters in all of Stranger Things. Love everything about this soda. Really like the can art on this one. I think that's a big thing with sodas that I feel like doesn't get talked about with enough is how the can looks. This one looks really, really cool, and that's why I figured it'd be a great soda to kick off my top 10 with. Now coming in at number 9, and I know a lot of you guys that watch this channel had a lot of fun when I had to unbox this one, and I had to put it in my top 10 because I think it was that great. And now I know I said I was sticking to standard size pops, which being the 4-inch Funko Pops. I am doing 3-liter sodas this year on my soda list, and coming in at number 9, I'm sure a lot of you know, is actually the 3-liter Darth Vader. Now I think the 3-liter Darth Vader is really, really cool. The chase is amazing. I have been so unfortunate with pulling that chase, so I think I've given up on trying to pull it. That's going to be one of those things I just need to go on Mercari or eBay and find. However, the regular, not the common Darth Vader 3-liter, I think does look really good. I love that chase though. Hopefully that is something I can add to my collection here in 2024, but I do think this is a great soda, and we really saw a lot of great 3-liters this year. We've got some really good ones. I think we have some more that are going to be coming out in the future. I think that's something Funko likes doing, just kind of slower. They're obviously not going to release as many of those as they are regular sodas. However, the 3-liters are really cool. That's why Darth Vader came in at number 9. Coming in at number 8, we're going to jump into the world of Stranger Things a little bit, and we got some really good Stranger Things sodas this year. We've gotten Barb, we've gotten Hopper, we've gotten Steve Harrington, but the one I'm going to be talking about is actually a Freddy Funko, and our first Freddy Funko of the soda list, and that is the regular Freddy Funko as Dustin. Now, this soda actually has a few different versions of it. There's a blacklight version, I believe, and there's also like a blue metallic version of it. However, this is the only one I have in my collection, but there's a reason it's the only one I have, and it's because it's the one I like the most. I think this one looks the best. I think it fits the Freddy Funko agenda a lot better than the blue metallic or the blacklight one, and I just really like this soda. I love the detail on it. Now, one thing we're going to be talking about with these Freddy Funko sodas is the mold. I think the mold could have been a little bit better on these. I don't like that they kind of went with this standard generic pose. For all of the Freddys that we got this year, he's just kind of throwing up that peace sign, and a lot of the art on him is just drawn on. There's really not any definition or design or any mold change like that. You can obviously tell they used the exact same mold and just painted it different ways, which is a little bit lazy on Funko's part. However, I still really do like this soda. Obviously, I'm a huge Stranger Things fan, so this one is a really great soda, and that's why it came in at number 8 on my list. Coming in at number 7 is actually another product of the sodas, and that is actually a soda cooler. The X-Men 97 soda cooler I thought was absolutely awesome. I'm very excited to get one. I have not picked one up in my collection yet. However, that all changed with this big end of the year sale that Funko had. They actually had these discounted all the way from $100 down to $50. So I did pick one up. That's something you guys can look forward to seeing on the channel here in the near future. We're going to unpackage that thing and see which chase we got lucky enough to pull. However, I really hope it's that Wolverine of Magneto. Obviously, those are the two big chases everyone wants out of that set because those are the ones with the biggest mold change. They actually look like a true chase, which is something I hope Funko works on better in the future, is getting some better chases out there for us to actually enjoy and see. Now, with that being said, it didn't change the fact that I still think this is one of the best soda coolers they've ever had. I really hope we get a Star Wars soda cooler here in 2024. We're really missing that. I think they could put some really cool sodas in there. So like I said, guys, be ready on the lookout for that in 2024. We are going to be unboxing that X-Men 97 soda cooler, and I'm super excited about that. But it comes in at number 7. I know that's 6 sodas, but altogether it kind of goes as one, so I did kind of pick it just as one whole product rather than 6 separate sodas. So coming in at number 6 on my list is another Stranger Things soda, and this one is really great. It is Steve Harrington. I love the chase version of this soda first and foremost. He's got his sunglasses on, he's got the gloves, but I do really just like both sodas in general. I think this is a great soda. Steve is actually my favorite character in Stranger Things. I think he's awesome. I love everything about the character. He's fun, he's cool, and everybody loves Steve. So I think this is a great character, and that is why it came in at number 6 on my list. So coming in at number 5 on my list is another Freddy Funko, and this one's really cool because it's not from a license or anything like that. This is just Freddy Funko having a great time out snorkeling. I love this pop. It came out with the San Diego Comic-Con. Again, another great year for San Diego Comic-Con. We had a lot of great pops, and especially Freddy's. Like I've already said before, the Freddy's were really good. However, this one is really cool. I haven't got a chance to pull this chase either, but this one is one of my favorites because, if you guys know, I've talked about it on the video in the past, I actually went honeymooning in Hawaii with my wife. We went snorkeling, so this Freddy is kind of like a reminder of that. It was a really great time, and I think this is just a really cool mold. I think it looks great. I love his swimming trunks. I love his snorkel. I love everything about this one, and that's why it came in at number 5 on my top soda list this year. Coming in at number 4, another Freddy Funko on the list, but I think this one is really cool, and I hope we get some more Freddy Funkos in soda form from the Marvel Universe, and that is none other than Thor. Now, again, here's what I was talking about with that mold. I think it would be a lot cooler if this soda was actually holding the hammer, didn't have the peace sign up, and all that painting stuff on it. I wish it had more of a mold to it. I wish Freddy might have had Thor's hair a little bit or something like that, even though I know we normally get Freddy with his own hair. However, I think it would have been cool to see some little bit differences with this soda. However, it was exciting to get a Freddy Funko in Marvel form, in soda form, so I'm excited to have this one in my collection. And again, I'd love to see like a Freddy Funko as Iron Man or a Freddy Funko as Captain America in soda form. I think those look really cool. However, number 4, Freddy Funko as Thor. Coming in at number 3, we have finally got to the top 3 of this top 10 soda list, and I gotta say, this one is a little bit cheating again, and you guys are probably wondering where I'm going with this, but it's 4 sodas, but I think they have to be all together, and that is actually the Freddy Funkos as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. These look so good. I was super excited about this. Now, you guys heard me talk about with Casey Jones, I was excited to add something from the Turtleverse in 4-inch standard Funko Pop form. Now, these are the closest I will get to a Freddy Funko as the actual Turtles, because like I said before, the other ones are super expensive. However, I think these are great. I love that they gave each crown their own color indicative of which turtle they are. I think this one's great. And again, that mold, I really could have made this soda even better if they would have actually given Freddy a real turtle shell, maybe given him some weapons and stuff like that, rather than just doing the paint on the mold. I really wish we would have got a turtle shell and stuff like that. However, this was still one of my favorite sodas that we got all year, and I think all 4 of them together just look awesome. Coming in at number 2, you guys heard me talk about The Last Ronin as my number 1 Funko Pop of the year, and if we weren't including Freddy's on this list of sodas, then this one would have been my number 1 soda of the year. However, it is coming in at number 2, and that is The Last Ronin sodas. I think this one looks super cool, and as you guys heard me say before, the chase is spectacular. I love the comic drawing, I love the black and the white, I just love the mold in general. I think this one's really, really cool. I was so pumped when they announced this soda earlier this year. I just think it's perfect. I think it is an amazing soda. I love The Last Ronin, so having this in my collection is awesome, and I really hope we get some more turtle stuff in the future. I know we've gotten a pretty good bit of it this year, and I know we've gotten some really great sodas this year. However, this Last Ronin is awesome, and if it weren't for the Freddy that I'm about to show you guys, I went ahead and leaked it a little bit there. We are talking about another Freddy at number 1, and if it wasn't for this one, this soda would have been number 1, but this soda that I'm about to show you guys is awesome, and I really, really, really love it. Coming in at number 1 on our top 10 sodas of the year, and I think this one is where we see that mold change actually does make such a big difference on it, and we are talking about Freddy Funko as Darth Vader. Now this is a soda I'm actually in the market for currently. This is one I plan on adding to my collection here in the near future. I love it. I really wish we would have gotten a Freddy Funko as Darth Vader in that standard pop form. However, I'm happy that we just got it in general with the soda form. I think this one's super cool. This is where I'm talking about the mold change makes such a big difference, because he's not throwing up the peace sign on this soda. He is just holding the lightsaber. I think it looks so good, and this is absolutely my favorite soda that we got this year, and I gotta be honest with you guys, it might be my favorite soda we have ever gotten. I love that it's Freddy Funko. Darth Vader is the most iconic villain in anything ever. I don't care what anyone says. When you see Darth Vader on the screen, everybody knows who it is, and I think this Freddy soda looks so good. They did just such a great job with the soda, and that's why it came in at number 1 on my list. Well guys, that is going to do it for today's video. We just broke down the top 10 sodas, the top 5 Freddys, and the top 5 non-Freddys of 2023. Now if you guys have a list that you guys have been putting together, make sure to go down in that comment section below and let me know what your guys' favorite things of the year were. When I started putting this list together, it was actually a lot harder than I thought it would be, because we really did have a great year as Funko collectors with some of the amazing things that we got. Now I know I left out Pop Rides, and I know I left out Build-A-Scenes and all those things. However, we did get some really great stuff there. If we talk about Star Wars, we got those awesome Hyperspace Hero rides with all their ships. I think those are awesome. I finally got all of those in my collection, so those are something I'll be showing off in the channel here in the near future. However, we had a great year as Funko Pop collectors, so I would love to see what your guys' list look like down in the comment section below. Another thing I didn't even get to talk about that we did in 2023 was you actually got the Funko Pop Yourself things. I love those. I love my Funko Pop of myself. Really cool that Funko finally made those available to everybody online. I think that was such a big hit for Funko. I know so many people that went out there and built their own Funko Pop, because it's just such a cool thing to have, especially if you are a Funko Pop collector. So like I said guys, a really great year for 2023. And before we end this video, I would love to give a big thank you to everybody that has stopped by and given this channel a chance. We have grown so much in this year. We almost got to 600 subscribers. My goal at the end of the year was just to be at 500. We absolutely destroyed December. I think we had a great time with the Advent calendar, which was a lot of fun, and you guys almost got me all the way to 600 subscribers. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for everything that you guys did for me in 2023. I think 2024 is going to be even better. We have a lot of cool things planned for the channel, and I hope you guys are here along for the ride. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure to go down and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we are getting so close to 600 subscribers, and I just can't wait to hit that mark and hopefully hit a lot more marks here in 2024. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in 2024. Bye.